Welcome to Cherryblossom Yoga. I'm Robin Dinerman. This is a half-hour Hatha Yoga class for beginning and continuing students. In this class, we're going to work on strengthening and toning the thighs, opening the hips. We will start in standing position, move down to the floor. However, if you're unable to stand or if you prefer to sit, please join us. Please follow along with the breathing, the deep inhalation, the long extended exhalation. Move whatever you can safely, and you will receive some benefits from doing so. We're beginning with the feet a little bit more than hip distance apart, and think of the point of your tailbone. We're going to draw a circle in the air. So keeping the knees soft, coming forward to the side and back. So this is just some gentle movement for your ankles, knees, hips. It's a way to get centered, settle in, and then reverse. If you come back to center, you can do the same thing with your shoulders coming forward to the side, back to the side. So the pivot point is right at the waist, I guess right about L1. Notice as you're doing this if there's any area that feels stiff or maybe a little bit sensitive. Pay attention to that as you're doing. Let's go the other direction. And a little bit more of the warm-ups. So let's bring the arms up, palms forward. Drop the knees a little, firm the buttocks. Bring the shoulders back. Let the eyes look up, but don't drop the head. So breathe in. And exhale, hinge forward from the hips just a little, back to center, and arching back. It's not really much of an arch. The firm buttocks help support the lower back. And then standing tall, release the shoulders, palms facing each other. We'll do a sideways movement. Breathe in and exhale, holding the breath and then releasing. Arm over the ear, sending energy out of your fingertips. Inhale back to center, crossing center line to the other side. And you can go at your own pace. Don't go much faster than this. But you can also hold on each side to help strengthen and tone those muscles. And one more time on each side. This time let's go down just a little more. Try to keep the arms fairly parallel, but now you have to do some work to keep that upper arm over your ear. Lower the shoulders, don't let them scrunch up under the ears. Now lifting from the waist and the shoulder, inhale up, cross center, and exhale, holding first at a little bit of an angle. Breathing, and then coming down a little bit more so you feel the stretch more from the armpit all the way down the rib cage. And back to center. And let your arms slowly float down, allowing the hands to become heavy. Now close your eyes, stand tall in Tadasana, the mountain pose. You might feel the circulation or some tingling in your fingers. You might notice some warmth throughout your body. Breathing deeply, exhaling completely, pressing down through the soles of your feet, allowing the shoulders and the blades to sink down. At the same time, lifting the breastbone and reaching up through the crown of your head. Concentrating on the body and the breath helps release all those extraneous thoughts, scattered thoughts, taking away your energy, helping you to focus and concentrate your energy. Feet about hip distance apart. We're going to lower the seat a bit, keeping the shoulders above the hips. Press down through your heels so they stay down, almost like you're about to sit, and then inhaling, straighten, and exhaling, lower your seat. It's very little movement, but you can feel it, I promise you. Now inhaling up, arms to shoulder distance, and exhaling down. Thumbs alongside of the hips. And exhale. This time we're extending the in-breath, breathing all the way up, and lengthening the out-breath all the way down. Get rid of that little bitty last ounce of air. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up. Now bend the knees, hinge forward from the hips, coming into a flat back, arms alongside of the ears, knees bent. Lifting the sit bones, coming all the way down, pull in the belly. Let your head hang, feel the back of the neck stretch. Keep some softness in your knees. So we're beginning to warm up the backs of the legs, the lower back muscles. Now straighten the left knee as you bend the right. Straighten the right as you bend the left. Keep the heels down on the floor. Don't lift the head up, look through between the legs. So this is more intense stretching through the backs of the legs, the lower back, and avoid swinging your hips out from side to side. And walk your hands to the outside of one leg, lower the head. Back around, going to the other side, lowering the head, feeling the shoulders sink down. And back to center. And you can uncurl upward. I'm going to flatten my back. Bring the arms out in T position and unhinge. Coming up into star. and lower the arms. Pause and breathe. Now, separating the feet a little bit, at least wider than hip distance apart, turning the toes out slightly, we're going to bend the knees again, lower the tailbone. So now you feel the action on the thigh muscles is slightly different. Bringing the elbows in toward the waist. This is goddess position. And again, we're going to straighten and lower. Now, this one, as well as the first one we did with the bending and the straightening, you could lift up onto your toes if you're on a solid surface and you feel steady. When you have a mat and you're on top of a carpet or a soft surface below you, it's really hard to balance. So don't try to do something where you've got not a very good chance of doing it. So you're going to lift up and the arms come up and reach and exhale down. Basic stretches you can do at your desk or any time during the day to open up the joints, get the circulation going, and exhale. Lift the elbows up to shoulder height. This now becomes cactus. You can separate the feet a bit more. And to protect my knees, I usually turn my toes out. You have to find what works for your knees. Breathing. And lower your seat if you can. You want the knee above the ankle and at least no farther than the toes, but I like to have the alignment of joint over joint. Slowly straighten the legs, lower the arms. I'm going to turn the feet forward and we're doing the side angle stretch again, but this time separate your feet even more. So I'm going to bring my left arm up over my ear and slide down. Now coming back into star and to the other side. So you feel the muscles right here, the muscles looking up to the sky or the ceiling, those are the ones that are working. And once again, I have some softness in the knees. And I find as I get older and my students age along with me, knees and hips, big issue. And back to center. I'm going to cross over, opposite hand to the foot. Now, try not to put any weight on this hand. This is just a placement. And pull the upper shoulder back, reach up through the hand. As soon as you start reaching, keep reaching. If you feel balanced, you can turn your face and look up at the hand. That'll help lift you. Come back up, pressing both feet down to the floor. Breathe. And twisting to the other side. So once again, this is for placement. I'm going to lift the upper shoulder, drop the lower shoulder. Returning now to star, taking your time. Feels good to have a fresh supply of blood come to your face, doesn't it? And the hands come down. Arms parallel to each other, inner elbows facing each other, the wrists underneath the shoulders. You want to heel toe outward if you can, and slowly lower your shoulders and your head. Get a good grip on each ankle. Look through between the legs. Keep lifting the sit bones. The brain drain. And you can see I'm loosening up a little bit more, so I'm able to come down. And I'm going to bring the hands just in front of the shoulders. Bring the feet in just a little bit. I'm going to bring one knee over the ankle, tuck the arm into the leg, lower the head. I was pushing into the floor, coming back to center, tucking the other arm into the leg. So technically you really don't need the hands except maybe for balance. Back to center, arm inside of the leg, and you can press the arm into the leg with the leg pressing back, wrap the other arm around. You could even hold on to the foot or the ankle and turn and look over the shoulder, pulling that shoulder back, pulling the elbow back. Pressing the foot into the floor. Coming back to center, wrapping the other arm around, knee above the ankle. I know it sounds strange, but relax in the posture. I always used to laugh when I read in the books. They say, now in the posture, relax. But if you're focusing on your breath and letting go, not holding on to that breath, you've got the joint alignment, you're in the correct position, you can let go of any muscle tension that you don't need. And bringing the hand down, coming back to center, going to heel toe, back in. And once again, either uncurl upward or spread the arms out or have them alongside of you. Lift the back of the neck, lengthen your spine, unhinge upward, and pause and breathe. We're going to take a short break. Please join me on the floor when we return to Cherryblossom Yoga.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Welcome back to Cherryblossom Yoga. Come join me on the floor, or if you're seated, follow with the arm movements, any of the leg movements that you can do, but especially, most importantly, the breathing. So we're going to come into table pose. I like to do this, I think, in every class because of the arching of the back for the cat and then back into table. The manipulation of the spine flushes out the fluids and wastes alongside of the spinal nerves and helps keep the discs plump. And then pull back into extended child and walk one hand after the other, pulling your hips away from the shoulders as you do this. Take a deep breath at your greatest stretch. And then let go and let the arms sink and slowly drift back to you. Let the head hang for just a moment. Now unhinging from the hips, lifting the shoulders up. Come into a seated position with the soles of the feet together. Place your hands up on the ankles, using the forearms, pressing into the legs, and moving forward, aiming for a spot outside of your feet, lifting the knees up, keeping the back straight, and aiming ahead to open up the hips and the groin. So I'm using the strength of my arms to help separate the legs, trying to keep the rib cage lifted high up out of the waist. Now this time, as you're pressing down through the arms, the legs are going to push back and return. So that's hard to describe unless you're actually doing it. Describe the feeling. And release. Butterfly, the fingers loosely wrapped around the lower toes, quickly raising and lowering the knees. And a big giant butterfly. And holding on with one hand. As you exhale, press the leg down toward the floor, but don't let yourself collapse like this. Lift up. And come around to the other side. Breathe in, and with the out breath, push down. You hear me breathing? The exhalation, I'm making a ha sound from the back of my throat, the ujjayi breath. And come down to the floor on your back. Now walk the heels in a little bit. Bring your attention to your waist and squeezing the buttocks, point the tailbone up and press the waist down to the floor. At the same time, you're pulling your navel down toward the spine. So it's a pelvic tilt with the tailbone pointed up, and then release. This is one of the easiest, most gentle massages of the lower back area. And with the tightening of the belly muscles, you're also expelling a lot more old, stale air. So now we're going to have my right foot pretty much in line with the right sit bone. I'm going to place the foot on the leg just below the knee. Now, if you place your ankle there, you might feel the pressure of the ankle into the thigh. So place the foot where it feels comfortable, and then simply lower the knee and bring it up. So there'll be a bit of a rocking sensation for the lower back. You want to keep both sides of the lower back down to the floor. Let's do one other adjustment. We're going to turn the palms up, breathe in, and tuck each shoulder blade underneath so they are flat to the floor. This lifts and opens the rib cage. And now let's get back to the knee lift and press. So remember, use your good judgment. If this is not right for your knee or for your hip or for your ankle, then this is something you should do only if the doctor says this is appropriate for you. So now we're going to pull the foot down about midway. And here I like to use my hand and then gently pushing and releasing. Now, this other side might lift up, so try to keep that down by pulling the belly down when you push. So that's an out breath here. and then as close as you can manage. The hip and heel come together. I'm going to take the foot, gently rotate it outward, rotate the leg a little bit, and then press and hold. Now you'll feel this into the knee, so be careful doing this. I'm doing the deep abdominal breathing. Now this you can actually do seated in a chair. So with each out breath, the muscles and tendons are loosening up a bit. And release. Crossing to the other side. Again, the up and down of the leg, opening up the other hip. And draw the foot down closer using the pressure of the hand and arm. You'll feel this into your hip. Notice if you feel it in the next day or so. And then draw the heel down as close as you can to the hip, rotating the foot forward slightly, the leg also, and a long exhalation as you press. Relax the arms. Let the arms sink down. Now bring both feet to the floor, press them into the floor, roll onto your side, and let your head sink down onto your arm. You can even tuck in a little. If you can stay here for a while, please do so. Otherwise, we're bringing this class to a close. Using your top hand, press the floor away. Let your head hang down as you slowly walk your hands back to your body. Rotate to the front. Come into your seated position. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're feeling wonderful, and I hope you can carry that feeling with you into your day, into your week, and into your life. Namaste.